Full disclaimer, I'm probably going to be a zombie today. It was a real late one last night. The Vargas brothers came by, helped get some of the final sensor stuff diagnosed on the Rotor Supra to where it's in good shape. And then I was up on Australia time with Scott from Haltech, aka Tuning Fork, helping set up a lot of the base map and complicated stuff with the car. That way, when Mike Vargas comes back today, we can throw it on the dyno and hopefully all will be good. One tiny little issue going on right now is just with the power to the coils. They're acting a little funny past 5 grand, so once we get that sorted, we should be able to let this baby sing to 11,000 RPM. I don't remember if we fully covered it, but if you remember, we were having some issues with oil filters where the seal was getting pushed out. And it's kind of funny because in the very beginning, when I reached out to PWR to buy some of their like shelf oil coolers for the Supra, they told me that we were going to have some issues. Because I guess with the 4-rotor, especially with the dry sump and everything, the cold oil pressure spikes are gnarly. And I can't remember if I showed it, but my theory was that this just didn't flow enough with the oil filter and it was just pushing the seal out because it didn't have like a big enough chamber to expand. But now we've got a filter on the car called a Clearview, which is like a crazy aftermarket style filter, and it hasn't had any issues. We did burst our standard style oil coolers just from the pressure, so it's looped right now, so it's not going to be seeing any track time without oil coolers, and we're going to need to get pretty gnarly on the cooler side. It's been an interesting project because it's not like the Jay-Z stuff where we do where there's tens of thousands of people that have done the same thing and have data. There's a very small community of people with similar engines like this, so it's been a fun learning process and excited to take you guys along for the way. A special message brought to you by LZMFG. The R33 RB26 giveaway is going to be over in a little bit over a week. Go to lzmfg.com. Every $5 you spend gets you entered for a chance to win. Great time to pick up a set of BC coilovers. We can help you spec out a custom set, or if you want something that's on the shelf, we've also got bolt kits if you want some sick metric flange hardware, and then we've got a ton of designs, a lot of stock, and we're shipping faster than ever before. So go check it out, get yourself some cool stuff, and get entered for a chance to win this beauty before it's too late. I'm really excited to see what this thing's gonna weigh. We haven't weighed it yet, and obviously it doesn't have all the body panels on it, but I have no idea if this thing is gonna be like mid 3,000, like if it was under 3,000 pounds, I'd be stoked. It might be. I don't know. I only know S chassis stuff. This is a Supra. We got a John in it right now. Is it gonna roll? You got your foot on the brake? Oh, she's on the ground, baby. What?
Let me guess.
With Johan in it.
Hold on. Let me guess, because I'm in it.
Uh-huh.
His face told me that this car is probably around 2,700 pounds.
With you in it?
With me in it.
Sorry, it's not. But it's under 3,000 pounds with you in it, which is really good. Because like as an example, that S15 with me in it weighs over 3,200 pounds. So this thing will definitely be under 3,000 pounds, I think, fully dressed with me in it. You're 250?
Yeah.
So that means like in its current state, it's like 2,750, which is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And like it's still got like a factory hatch. There's a lot of metal in it. It's got.
It's actually plastic.
It's faster.
Plastic.
Oh, the hatch.
The hatch is plastic.
That's aftermarket.
No, it's all EM.
It's all EM plastic.
Yeah, OEM plastic.
It's so there's a special blend of plastic they use. It's called EM plastic. That's what you're saying. He's gonna kill me. Somebody needs to go back to Tampa.
What are you eating, homie?
What's that?
What are you eating?
A leftover enchilada.
Yeah, the things are loose.
Enchilada, boy. We have 50,000 wings in the fridge. He's gonna eat that leftover enchilada.
You're not wrong.
Although some people don't like leftover chicken. It's too busy to eat wings.
All right, back to the car.
Actually, that might be the first problem right there. Yeah.
The ground is sitting on top of powder coat. So you have to take every wire off, sand it down, so it's actually getting an actual ground contact. And then we might not have, after that it'll get rid of the ground issues with the coils. So I'll make sure my nails look good for everyone looking when I do this. So gotta make them straight.
Really?
NA-wise is hard to roll it.
Give me. He doesn't want to do his ground strap, but he wants to do this.
Well, they are.
Don't scratch your powder coat.
Nice. New John in town.
Same thing.
I'll just sit back.
You just got upgraded to shop foreman.
I've been shop foreman. Upgrade or downgrade the shop floor, man?
Well, now you're like, now you just supervise.
Yeah, supervise. I like that. Yo, quench your eyes.
It's like
You
this.
signed the waiver?
He's got long eyelashes.
They got him on. Yo, watch the windshield.
You call him the shop kid?
Whoa. I'm getting out of this.
You gotta blow off your
Oh, the
gotta
mic
blow
got
off
fucked.
your manifold, bro. Your manifold.
We're looking for the top dead center on the rotor, which will be center of the face. So we're gonna look at the spark plug hole, top one, spin the rotor, so we have an apex seal there. So go down.
Right there.
Okay,
Can you want
so
bits
we'll
on the
mark that right here.
Do you like split the difference between the apex seals?
Yeah. So now we go to the bottom one, and we're gonna look for the apex seal from the bottom.
It's kind of how you find it on an engine with like splitting the difference. Like a real engine.
Oh, okay.
How much power do you think this is gonna make?
Whatever the Johan's intake lets us.
Johan's
And
intake
exhaust.
Kansas. Homie, you guys give me
Doesn't the
lengths, and I give you the lengths.
doesn't
Alright.
the person that built the engine usually have the most say in the power that it makes?
Nah, it just depends on intake length, exhaust length, and all that stuff on any engines.
Which he told me.
Sorry, man.
It's been super spicy like the past couple of days, but like everyone's friendly. But like sometimes some be said, and I like look around. I'm like, are they about to fight?
You don't know about when something's about to pop. Literally,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean?
Especially with Sean here.
Especially with a lot of Puerto Ricans.
Sean's gonna get slapped one of these days. It's not gonna be by me either.
It's gonna be by John.
Nah, I won't do that to him. Someone else will.
That's a nice mark. Is that accurate? You want me to give you a Sharpie, a gray Sharpie?
Yeah,
I'm not
yellow
talking
one?
literally
You got a
asking
yellow
you if
paint
you want a silver one.
Oh, yellow paint marker. Lower.
It's funny, we've been borrowing more stuff from Colette than ever. We had to borrow a timing light. We borrowed a stock FC pulley, and Mike verified that his timing mark was correct since he originally had it based on a stock style pulley. And we're going to lock timing. He's going to check timing, and then verify that it revs. And we're looking good. Okay, it's primed. Alright. Can we turn it on?
Yeah.
Go on?
Yeah.
Now I'm here for a special message brought to you by Drift HQ. Are you a shop? Do you have customers that want turbos on their car? Well, I've got great news for you. We have hundreds of Garrett turbos in stock, and if you're a shop, we can match pricing from anywhere else you get your turbos from, so we can make money and you can make money too. And what we'll do, which isn't something that we currently do, if you request it, we'll even put candy in with your order of turbos, so when you're getting turbos for your customers, you'll get candy for yourself, or if you want to share it with a customer, message Ryan. He'll talk with you and he'll get you deals on the Garrett turbos and anything else that you might need. We got wastegates too, and manifolds, and pretty much every part under the sun. So we're looking to expand our shop network though, so this is for you. If you have a shop, to message Ryan, he'll get you sorted. We've been trying a lot, we're running out of time. Mike's got a flight to catch, and it's seeming like we're running into more trigger issues again. Scott's remoting in, we're trying to swap around some wires, but hoping to hear this thing sing past 5 grand soon. So when you went down on dwell, it let us rev.
What have you guys been doing fucking around all night, man? Why did you do that?
Because the dwell is not supposed to be that low on those coils.
I completely agree with you, but when we start fucking around trying to figure out what's going on, the problem is the power supply or the grounding to the coils.
The relay is wired straight to the battery right now. So it's like the relays are basically jumped. So the coils should have full battery power.
And then the ground's the same.
Okay.
When it comes to like trigger stuff and ignition stuff, I think my understanding's rather elementary, but we have some pretty fancy coils on this thing. They're IGN 1As, is that how you say it? We run them on the FD car, and they require a lot of power and a lot of ground, so it sounds like we're having an issue with them likely not having proper ground, because he was able to mess with the dwell trim, drop it lower than it should be, and it cleaned it up, which is like pointing to something being wrong with the coils. So.
Okay.
It sounds like it makes sense coming out of my mouth. Do I understand what I'm saying? Not entirely, but. So it's actually just a loose axle, so we're gonna be able to run it. It's getting on the later side though. I don't like to run the dyno past 9 p.m., so it gives us about a half hour to play with it. The goal is not to finally tune the car, but the goal is to get some time with some load with the car with Scott from Heltec and try to see if any other issues present themselves. That way, while I'm gone for 3 weeks, Johan can button up whatever might need to be buttoned up with the car, or if wiring things need to be addressed. We've been able to sort through as much as we could revving, but other things will present themselves as we start to put some load into it. So we're not going for numbers. We're only gonna be revving the engine to 9 grand. That's kind of its break-in RPM, when the full end RPM will be like 11,000. So power-wise, I don't predict it to make anything crazy, but we'll get to hear it. We'll get to see what it does with some load, and continue the process of dialing in the car. It appears as if we have some sort of like fuel pump issue going on. The engine is running at a fuel pressure at like 250 horsepower. So hopefully it's something dumb simple, but just to confirm that that's an issue, Sean has a can rigged up with a hose from the return, so we can monitor to see if it's not really putting anything into it. That means the engine truly is consuming all the fuel flow, but just a good way to verify.
Alright, you ready?
Let's do it.
Say now that Adam's always been super annoyed when my rotary cars smoked up the entire shop, and now it is all coming back to me.
It wasn't like nothing was. You can see the fuel pressure right here, just tanking. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's something voltage related, or maybe one of the pumps isn't working right. But those 2 pumps should definitely make over 280 horsepower, I think.
I completely agree.
Well, I appreciate the help regardless. At least now, like, we've got something to figure out to get it to the next stage.
Considering I reckon we're doing pretty well. We've come a long way.
You're not wrong. Womp 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 womp. Got somewhere, got to hear it on the dyno, got to hear it at 9,000 RPM, but one of the unfortunate things is with a new build, especially with as much variability as this, there's a lot of diag. I feel like we've gotten kind of spoiled because we've rinsed and repeat the same like SR and JZ setup, and we've gotten so good at it that we like got used to putting cars on dynos and not having to do this. But this just reminds me, like back in the early days building cars, like this is normal. The amount of times we would go to Titan, not be able to tune the car, go back. At least we're in the comfort of our own backyard, and we're able to just boop, go through it on the dyno, chuck another pump in it, boop, back on the dyno, boop, on the lift is what I meant actually, boop, put it in the parking lot, do burnout, boop. You're done.
Boop.
Yeah, boop,
Boop.
boop. Riley loves getting booped.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Colette, thoughts on the rotary sound?
I love. It is insanely loud, and I'm just so happy that you can no longer be annoyed at me when I start up my 3-rotor and move. When it's dark, it's really loud. Can you not turn it on?
So I like ran out my house and I was like, Colette.
Ha! Yeah,
And
exactly.
I started going to her
Karma.
shop, and I'm like, oh my god, it's not her.
And all the times that you would get so annoyed when I would drive my car through your shop, it'd be smoky forever. Well, guess what? This is your life now. Ha ha ha.
You know the unfortunate thing about it that we didn't realize? All of the stuff that we did with the doors shut, all the cars in the shop are covered on oil now. Like there's oil on all of the cars from just being in the air.
Just because you were revving it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we learned our lesson there. I bet the AC filters could use a change now, huh?
Probably. Welcome to
Bro,
the
that's
life.
probably why the AC unit froze. It's probably covered in oil.
Welcome to the life. Sometimes it's not the easiest life.
Yep.
It's a complex life, but it's hey. No.
It sounds cool.
It sounds insane. I just can't wait to hear it. Like, I can't even imagine this drifting. Like, I can't imagine the noise.
We're gonna get some
make.
mufflers, bro.
Yeah, and there's gonna be 2,000 more RPM. That was only $9,000.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I know, it already felt like I was like, okay, it's still going.
So
It's still going.
I guess it is kind of cool. It made 250 horsepower at 9,000 RPM.
Trash.
Well, actually, it made 250 horsepower at like 7,000 RPM
Trash.
at 50% throttle.
Trash.
That's pretty good. Like, think about it. What does a NA13B make? Like 150 horsepower? Like that comes in an
I
FC.
guess NA. I don't know. I've never.
What does
gone
RX-8
that
make?
lame of a route.
What does the RX-8 make?
Oh, hey.
NA13B RX-8.
50%.
Run assist, not their best work.
What does it make?
Well,
Less than
what is
200?
it? What does it actually make?
Yeah.
Probably like 180.
Yeah, so 180. So we're making
Not enough.
almost double that at 7,000 RPM. 50% throttle. That's pretty good.
He says that,
Pretty
but
Yeah.
Yo, you got this bee messed up with these fumes. Poor guy.
girl.
Poor guy. Look
Mike,
at
cut the
him.
clip.
Look at
No,
him.
that's Colette, not Mike. Colette's filming, that's not Mike.
Yeah, Mike's editing.
You got this bee feeling some type of way, bro.
I think that bee wants to be with Sean.
Here you go, buddy. Don't sting me. Well, sounds cool. You officially have the most rotors in a single car.
Yo, guess what it weighed? We weighed it today.
Just like that?
Stock Supra weighs like 3,500, I think.
3,000 maybe?
27.25.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, coolest looking car I own for sure. Fuel lines on?
Yeah.
obviously far from its final iteration, but to get to at least have a itty bitty pull and start to feel it come into its power band is definitely a big moment. Knowing that I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks, it'll be cool coming back, and this car will be in a completely different shape. It won't be, you know, in its trial run, but the idea was to try to get as much stuff diag before the interior is all painted and everything's all polished nice and pretty. It's easier to work on without worrying about scratching it and stuff. So we got the fuel pump stuff to sort out. We've also still got a couple of minor like little grounding things to dial in, but overall I think this thing's gonna be ready to make some power as soon as we get home and start to hear this thing sing. I personally can't wait to have a muffler on it so I can actually hear it without like earmuffs on, because it's so loud. This is the loudest car I've ever heard in my life, actually. Yo, I just watched the clip back. This thing sounds crazy from the front, and that's why I can't wait enough to quiet down the rear. The induction noise on this thing is crazy. Hearing that clip of it coming down the building got me fired up. This isn't gonna be the best drift car. It's not gonna be the best time attack car. I know people have wondered what the purpose of it is. I bought this 4-rotor setup to go into my FD when I had it. I had no idea what I was getting into, and I slowly realized that a 4-rotor car is a little better suited as a race car than a street car. And then I was like, I just want to put it in a cool chassis that looks cool, that gets me excited to go drive. I want whatever chassis the 4-rotor goes into to be like a host for the maximum fun. The chassis is around the engine rather than the engine being around the chassis. It could have been an E36, it could have been an E46. The Supra just kind of fell into my lap and it was cool. But it's literally a host to enjoy this engine to the maximum extent without worrying about having like some crazy nice car that I'm gonna smash up. Because I mean, in reality, I paid less for this car than I would have for like a half decent S13, which is kind of laughable. And I'll get a cool looking Supra and the best engine ever that I'll get to smile and have fun with. Very excited. Honestly, I think the sound on D-Cell too is what gets me the most hyped. Something about like F1 cars, like rowdy cars, like back when I had my GT3 RS with the crazy Dundon crack pipe on D-Cell, when you get that sick, just like the nice on the D-Cell. I don't know how to explain it, but any of you guys that have ever been to like proper like race, like 24 Hours of Sebring or Daytona, and hear like the RSRs on D-Cell, like that's what I'm talking about. That sick, raspy D-Cell tone, sweet sound, and I'm rambling. Big moment today, big moment. We're gonna wrap the video up here. John pulled out the fuel assembly, and there's definitely some weird stuff going on, so there's hope that it will most likely be an easy fix. I mentioned that I'm going away for 3 weeks. Mike will be here, and there will be a couple of videos from the stuff going on in the shop. I don't know if it will be mixed in with the stuff I'm doing out in Vegas, or if it will be separate content. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing with my life, or what videos I'm gonna be making in Vegas. But the content will keep coming. I don't wanna set expectations when I don't even know what's gonna go on. But Supra, obviously still some progress to be made, but it's at the exciting phase where now we can hear it, feel it, drive it. Yeah, and thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you soon.